Hello guys and welcome to a new video. So before we get into it, I just wanted to introduce you guys to my new video series, the Tutorial Tuesday series. So I will try to upload a tutorial each Tuesday. So if you guys want to help me out with that, please comment down below what tutorials you want to see next so I can help you. So in this tutorial, I will show you guys how to create cool layer styles such as these in the example you can see right now. I made these one myself, so I'll release a pack in the description down below where you can freely download them. So the first thing you want to know is where you can find the layer styles. So you can find layer styles by just clicking down there. So right now let's blend these out. Okay, cool. So we'll just create a new layer. Often layer styles are used for text, like I did over here for example, because they're very effective. So for example, you can just type in any text, like maybe Chrome or something, just like something very weird. So, and then you can just click over here, open that, and then click Alt, drag it on top, and you have the same effect on this text. You can also just type everything else and it will keep that effect. So that's very helpful. If you already have some pre-made effects, you can just use them. So first of all, you can find the layer styles if you click over here in this button. You can also see which one you use, so they're all checked. So let's just delete them, and now we'll choose one of these options. These are all the options you can choose from, or you just shortcutly double click on the layer. Then this window opens over here and you have all the options you want to use. So the most used options for me are the drop shadow, the gradient overlay, the stroke, and the bevel and emboss. I just like to use them because they're often used in general and they're the main parts of layer style. So something like a pattern overlay, I didn't use that often. When I use patterns, I just use them with the bevel together. So let's just create maybe this effect or something like that. So for the gradient overlay, it's just a color you can use. So you can lower the opacity how you want it. You can see it in real time, so you don't just have to click OK to see it. You can just see it right there. So for the gradient overlay, you can click on here and there are already some pre-made gradients for you. So there are also some types of gradients with different opacities. So for example, if we choose this one right there and change this color to black or maybe red, you can see that it's red at the bottom but white at the top. And that's so because it's like 100% of the opacity on the left side but 0 on the right. So you can change the opacity just by typing in here 100, and now you go. So let's just change this to green so it's more visible. So right now we have it on 100, but you can drag this bar and now you have it on 0, though there's like a gradient to the background, to the actual text color you had before. I don't really often use it, but yeah, you can try it. You can just figure out how you want it. So you can insert different colors just by clicking on one of these, and then right click, and then you have another color. You can tell the program where to put this, so you can just change the value to 50%, and now it's right in the middle. So let's change this to blue. So now it's right in the middle. So you can do a lot with these gradients. Maybe you already work with some of these gradients. Okay, so for this one, I didn't use any gradient, so we can just delete these. And then we also have some other effects on. We don't want them yet. So now I think I chose a more vibrant color. Yeah, let's get that one. Okay, cool. So as we can see, we have an outer glow. So it glows on the outside, so you just go on the outer glow. So drop shadow and outer glow have a similar effect, but outer glow glows from all sides and the drop shadow doesn't. So the drop shadow glows in a specific direction. So right now we already have a good glow. It's kind of similar to the one at the bottom, so we can leave it like that. You can change the size, how big you want it, and you can change the spread. So if you put the spread up at the top, you have really hard edges, and you can scale them down, of course. Now you have something like a stroke, but for this one we don't want it because there's also already a stroke option. So we'll try to use everything how we want it. So now we'll have the spread on something really low, and yeah, that works. Okay, so now let's go to the bevel. So the bevel creates these nice 3D type things, so you can change the overlay colors how you want them. Let's go for black and white. So now we change the direction a bit. You can also work with angles. But as you can see, if I change the angle, it changes the one from all the other layer styles as well. As you can see right now, so it changes them all. So yeah, you just need to work out how you want to use them so you don't mess everything up. You can, to prevent that, you can just easily convert this to a smart object, but then you can't change the layer styles again. So you should just do that when you're really finished with the layer style. Okay, so now we have the direction we had before or something like that. We can just take a cool direction. I often use the direction from the top left to top right, just like so. You can preview it. And then we can also use some sort of texture. Let's take this to maybe linear dodge maybe. Yeah, it's fine. Let's go to normal and lower the opacity. So it gives a type of 3D vibe. Now we can change also how the bevel should work. So we can change it smooth bevel, hard, chisel, soft. For this one I'll choose a chisel hard, and you have even more options over here, but we want the inner bevel for this one. Of course you can change the size over here, how you want it. I'll go for something like this. You can change the depth, how strong. Let's make it, we can make it really strong or not too strong. We can have it like this maybe. You can also change the opacities, of course. You can also use the contour. Let's try it. And you can choose a texture. So right now we have the texture selected already. But there's some more. You don't have that many, but you can work with many. So what if we just zoom in a bit? By the way, it's cancelled now because I didn't click accept, but that's not the problem. You can just click on them and they're back there again. So let's go to bevel and emboss, contour, and texture. So now we have a cool one. So there are many textures, as I said, like patterns, basically. So they might look weird, but you can use them very well when you change the scaling. So right now we have a scale that's low and then high. So for example, that's like more like a dirty one. We don't want that. We want a cleaner one. Or something like this. These stripes. We can change the depth, so how strong we want them to be. Now we can see the size even better. So there's really many options you can choose from. these are more the stripes. Then we can choose some dots. Right. Okay, cool. So you can just create so many different types. For example, let's choose that one. I mean, it just looks cool, and you can just type in whatever you want. Of course, if you change a font, for example, wait, let's type something in and we change the font to something like that. It might not look that good again. So you should always use the font you want to use up front, so it doesn't mess up anything. So, but layer styles are also cool if you use some objects. So for example, if we have a really white background, for example on websites, and you have a bar, also maybe a white one, something like that, you won't really see anything that it's like its own bar, its own spot. So what I like to use is a drop shadow, for example. We'll change that to white, to black. So now we have a hard drop shadow. We don't want that. We want a smooth one. So you can change the spread now and the size. And now it pops out some more. You can change the opacity. But now it's like really popping out, and then you can work with some really cool text. So let's type a white text. So let's type in name, and then you can click on layer styles, and you can also go to inner shadow, and then if you have this inner shadow, you can of course change it how you want, but as I said, it will have impact on the other layer styles. So if you use something with shadow, it will have an impact when you change it. So now we have this one. So if we make it even stronger, it looks more like carved in. So it's now going inside of that paper, for example. We can maybe also change it to a gradient, turn down the opacity, and yeah, it's just cool. It looks carved in. You can create some 3D type stuff, some more. So I hope this tutorial helped you, and I will try to continue the Tutorial Tuesday series. So please let me know down in the comments below what tutorials you want to see next. Thanks for watching.